That's where I'm from. I'ma rap my city till the day that I'm gone. I may be weak, but I'm Texas strong. Nothing stopping me, I'm in the zone. Austin, Texas, that's where I'm from. I'ma rap my city till the day that I'm gone. I may be weak, but I'm Texas strong. Nothing stopping me, I'm in the zone. Right. Alright. Game face on. Just like an average child, just like a normal child getting into trouble like we always do. I mean, for me, growing up, I knew something was different, but I never really focused on it. So like growing up, you know, before the shin, like I said before, just a normal kid, man, like good childhood. Like I didn't have any problems except for when I started having problems, I had to, you know, slowly lose my strength. I wouldn't be able to walk anymore. Like I knew that was gonna be hard, but like once I did it and then transition like that, it wasn't even hard at all. But I mean, it didn't get harder till later on in life.
When he was a little baby, I thought it was really cool because he would not crawl, he would roll. And I thought that was pretty neat. And then the lady that was watching him said, I think there's something wrong here. I'm like, oh no, this is cute. So then at school, we put him in speech therapy and went to pre-K. And the lady there, don't remember her name, told me if I were you, we went for a yearly or a quarterly meeting. And she had told me if I were you, I'd take him to a neurologist. I'm like, what for? And she said, well, he's not progressing like he should, his muscles. And I said, oh. And so I took him to the doctor, and a week later we found out he had Duchenne muscular dystrophy through blood work. And I said, what the hell is that? And so I started reading about it, and I called around on the internet and found the Parent Project for Muscular Dystrophy, which Pat Furlong is the CEO, president. And from there I went to learn about Duchenne up in Pittsburgh for the weekend and came back, and it was devastating because you have fear, you have the pain, you have the not knowing and what you can say and what not to say. And Pat Furlong told me, Leslie, whatever you do, when they ask you questions, when your son starts asking questions, you don't want to be too honest, but you don't want to lie to him, because if they find out later, they won't trust you. So that always rung in my mind.
Well, I guess like I knew that me being a basketball player was over with, wouldn't happen. So it's like the hardest thing, but then later in life, of course, you find other things you get into. I mean, when you're a kid, right, you don't really understand the severity of everything, like what it's gonna be, really. You know, when you're young, you have no idea. You just want to hurry up and go play and go do kid things. And like for me, I mean, it really never hit me until later in life. When I was younger, it never really bothered me. I mean, even though I was struggling at some points in time, it still, you know, I still just kept living, you know, best I could. Like for me, it felt normal. Like that's just what it was supposed to be. So for me, like, it wasn't so hard. Like if you maybe overnight get in a wreck and then get paralyzed, and then that's a whole different story, you know, because like me growing up, I knew every stage of the way what it was going to be and what I had to face eventually. And I just tried to ignore all that, you know. It's kind of hard to do, but I just did, and enjoyed time with friends. And had kids rolling on and getting on the back of my wheelchair. I had 4 kids on this wheelchair one time at one point in time, and We're driving all reckless and stuff and ran into a pole one time. Yeah. But yeah, it didn't really bother me until later.
Like when I was in elementary, so that was kind of hard for me when I first got in my wheelchair, electric wheelchair. That was crazy. They just give chairs to anybody that's motorized. I was only like 13 years old, and they just give you a chair. You don't even know how to drive it. They just like, here you go.
It's like you need a driver's license for this thing.
Yep, because I was reckless.
They could just imagine my house. It had holes everywhere. I was wrecking all over the place. It was crazy. My house was like falling apart then.
Well, at first he really didn't know what it was because I didn't tell him unless he asked. And so he'd go, Mom, Connor told me that I'm not going to be able to walk and move and all. Is that true? And I said, yes. And he just looked at me and went, okay, and ran off. And then we were coming home from a doctor's appointment, his neurology downtown. And he's like, Mom, is it true I'm not going to be able to lift my arms up, in the future? And I was like, yeah. And then, because I was like, do I lie or do I? And Pat Furlong ruled in my head, what's going in my head. Whatever you do, don't be too brutally honest, but don't lie. Tell him the truth. And so as he grew older and asked questions, that's when he would be informed of Duchenne muscular dystrophy. And I'm not sure what day. It was Valentine's Day when he wanted to stay in his wheelchair. And that was the day he was age 7, and he never got out of his wheelchair and walked again.
When I got to about age 7, that's when it really started affecting me a lot. So one day my mom, asked, hey, you want to walk today? I'm like, no, I'm going to stay in my chair. And ever since that day, I've been in a wheelchair, and now I'm 28. So.
Wow. So you remember the day you stopped walking?
Yeah, I remember one time I was in the lunch line, and, I was walking still at that time. It was elementary. I was going down the lunch line, and you know how they have the tray that goes on the bars?
Yeah.
Well, I was going down there, and then my arm went in between the bars, and I tripped and broke my arm right in half. So ever since then, I'm like, I don't want to walk no more. It's too dangerous,
Mm-hmm.
And when I was younger, they wanted me to wear a helmet everywhere I went.
Oh, man.
Mom said, you ain't wearing no helmet. So I got a few scars from not wearing a helmet, but it only made me smarter.
Duchenne, I didn't know what that was. Could you explain to people who don't know what it is, what it is?
Mm-hmm. Duchenne is a name that came from a doctor about 100 years ago, and his son had the symptoms that most kids do with Duchenne. It's a progressive illness. It starts from the ankles and works its way up. And what it is they're missing dystrophin. Not all of them are missing dystrophin. There's duplication and stop coding.
What's dystrophin?
Dystrophin is the largest gene in your muscle. And that's what holds, as your muscles grow and explode, that holds the muscles together. And what happens with the boys with Duchenne, they're missing some axioms on the DNA line, and it'll go smooth, and then there's a drop, and then it continues. And so since it doesn't continue all the way through, their muscles die, and then they in turn die as well.
Because 2 years ago, December, I had pneumonia really bad and almost lost my life that day.
That was scary.
December 12th, and now I'm on this trait full time. But, eventually I would have had to get this trait. It's just, I was putting it off a little bit. But it's funny, like every time I need something done, I think it's a God thing because he puts me in a situation where I have to get it done. Like the same thing with my feeding tube. Something happened and then I had to get it. I didn't want it, but, I just ended up getting it. And then, getting sick and everything, having to get that trait, it's just To me, it feels like God thing. For everyone that doesn't know, this trait is only 5 months new. I got sick over and by my birthday and had to spend my birthday in the hospital. Had to spend it at rehab. But thank God I'm alive to do that because I almost didn't make it. I had pneumonia really bad and my CO2 levels went up. But thank God that my doctor was there at the right time. He wasn't supposed to be there, but he was finishing up on some other patients. So thank God for that. It was a blessing because it's really hard to get down a tube down my lungs to breathe from and everything. So luckily he was skilled and at that and did it really fast when I was turning blue. I don't remember any of that. I was out. CO2 levels were at 120. So that was crazy. It was a miracle I made it through that. But I'm still here today, thank God, man. It's amazing to be alive and, just makes me realize how much more life really means. It's really a blessing to be here. So I'm going to live it up every day for the rest of my days. Because life is too short not to live it up. And, we haven't made it through that, but I had to spend my birthday there. That was crazy. And Christmas, but things could always be worse, so not really too bad.
I think he's just an awesome guy. I mean, I remember him growing up and not being able to do certain things, and but he always had a good attitude in life. There was a little time period there where he was like, holy crap, I've got this, but he got over that, and when he got over it, that's when he just you couldn't turn him back.
Mm-hmm.
So he has been an inspiration. I mean, he's done an awesome job. This kid is truly an amazing kid, and I it's not from me, it's just from him. And I think what it is he's trying to get the message out that he doesn't have a lot of time left, but the time that he has left, he wants to utilize it as much as he possibly can to get across, okay, that he wants to leave a message, and the message he wants to leave is like, there's a cure. Find the cure, and let's get this thing on the road. That type of thing. So
I still remember being in the parking garage and talking to my dad and telling him I love him and telling Mom I love her, and we went in and did what we had to do, and it was a long recovery. Almost didn't make it through, but God had a plan. It wasn't done with me yet. So I made it through that surgery. And, everything took a while to learn. When I first got out the hospital, it's like I grew a couple of inches. So I hit my head on my Vans. Grew kind of, it didn't hurt bad, but, it was just unexpected at the time. But it took a while. A lot of rehab, sitting up a little each day. It took a couple months to get back in shape. I was scared to sit up because I thought my back would open up or something. Just, now think when you're human, the worst scenarios. But that was a crazy time for me. Later, when I turned about, I think I was like 18 or probably not 18, but it was 2016. I'm not going to do the math right now because I ain't been in school since 2010, so I don't really do too much math. But, I can if I want to, but I'm not trying to be a mathematician. But it's alright. It's all good. 2016 is when I got my first feeding tube,
GJ, and that was a crazy experience. You had to figure out what food you had to be on. We went to a whole lot of different doctors. Eventually, months down the road, I started not feeling myself, and I thought I was probably gonna die or something. But what happened was, I think from that surgery, I lost a lot of my blood, so I was anemic, so I was kind of like a zombie at that time. But thank God for that, because, man, I probably don't even remember my 25th birthday. I used to sit up, fall asleep sitting up in my chair, drooling and all that. It was horrible. But once we got that, everything started to be better. And I've got 2 blood transfusions. Oh, man. It was a crazy time. But once I got that blood, man, I was a new man. I was so hyped up. I didn't go to sleep for about a week. Tell you what, that new blood, fresh blood, get you going.
What am I supposed to do? Getting weaker, making it hard to move. Hill getting steeper. I'm really needing you, really needing you. I need you. What am I supposed to do? Getting weaker, making it hard to move. Hill getting steeper. I'm really needing you, really needing you. I need you. Felt like I was tied down. That won't fly now. Said I would die by now, but I'm still alive.